What's the news there? I didn't even. Someone said it on my live stream, but I don't know what the hell they were talking about. I was like, obviously Crow, but I don't know what happened. Do you know what happened?
Not really. I mean, I know that Truth Social is sending a new ETF, and I got it right here. Let me see if I close it. Yeah, I think I closed it. But Truth Social is launching a new ETF, or is sending to FOMC a new ETF request where it involves Kronos, Solana, Ethereum, XRP, and Bitcoin. So kind of like a blue chip thing, right? That's how they've been calling it, the blue chip thing. So it's like in Cardano. In Cardano, is it Cardano part of it?
No clue.
No, I don't. Well, I
Ada.
don't really remember. Let me bring it up. Yeah. And also have man, too many things have been just happening throughout this weekend. 2 days ago, no wait, what was it? Thursday and Friday. I was just right where we finished the shows. 80. What is it? Not 80. 10,000 Bitcoin. They were distributed to each wallet from two main wallets to another four wallets. So it was dormant from 2011, and now they're starting to move to a more modern wallets. So things are kind of like a changing or it starts shaking. I don't know. It gives me tinfoil hat vibes, but yeah, hopefully it plays out as expected. I have it right here. Let me just bring it up. I found the news article, and here it is. Let me make it big. That's what she said. All right. And then here we go. True Social, sorry, files for SEC launched crypto blue ETF. Yeah, there was no ADA. Tracking Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and CRO. That to me, sorry, that to me feels like a flex of power.
Crypto.com's like basically like Coinbase, basically. Right?
Yeah, but I've never liked it before. Just when
No,
it
me
launched
neither,
it.
man.
Yeah, when it launched the very beginning, what was it? Right throughout pandemic, right? Or right at pandemic. They were getting big, but I never liked them truly. I just bought with them because they had like low fees and they give you cents upon the 3 cents worth of Bitcoin or $3 worth of Bitcoin. And that was the only reason I ever created a CRO account, a crypto.com account. But yeah, other than that, they never give me like legit vibes, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, they've been exploding. This is 30 minutes. Let's take a look at the 4 hours. The 4 hours, it's still
Oh, you cut
crazy.
out.
What is it?
Oh, are you good now?
Yeah, did I get stuck?
You got stuck for like 30 seconds.
Oh,
You were still talking about Kronos.
sorry about that. Yeah, so I was saying that Kronos never gave me like uh the 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 legit vibes. I don't know why. But yeah, I did create an account, bought some Bitcoin out of them, and that was it. I had never even bought Kronos themselves. So it's for
No.
me it's weird they added Kronos. It seems to me like like what is it? Donald Trump's son has an exchange going on, right? Seems to me that they're having kind of like a partnership or something behind curtains, and they are kind of like pushing it that way, but not sure. Not sure. I mean, I don't want to spread misinformation out here, but other than that, let me pass it over to you. How was your trading morning and your 3.343 you mentioned? That's fantastic. How it went?
Yeah, it was good, man. Let's go over it here. Do 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 do. Okay, yeah. So it's always very good to understand where we're at, what we're looking for, right? Yesterday me and the whole group here, we went over the keys to trading. We went over volume, market structure. Volume, market structure, liquidity, and price action. Maybe you want to touch on those 4 things. But we talked about this yesterday on how this is the most important things to understand. You can have every single thing on the chart, but if you don't understand why price moves the way price moves, you're going to be wrecked. So volume, market structure, liquidity, and price action. Volume and market structure makes up your price action, right? So we were looking for a rejection here off of our order block liquidity zone, golden pocket retracement area for price to get up there. It got up there today. We got a beautiful bearish divergence up at the highs here. Easy short. I just waited for this thing to lose the low. I shorted right here. Okay, so on the live stream, we took the long up here. Incredible trade. Everybody making lots of money. Okay, so we took that long live with everybody. And what was that? So what do we understand about this, right? So we're up at the highs, right? We're looking for the SFP. This still remains. So in this situation, you must understand a couple of things. So we're here, right? We're here this morning. We came into our rejection zone. Okay, so we are looking for a short or a long here. What do you guys think? We are looking for a long. Why are we looking for a long? We're not looking for a short. Because we are looking, the trend has not broken. The trend is still up. Yes, we are getting into an area of confluence that we're interested in. But do we have topping structure, right? We talk about structure, right? What are we looking for here? We're either looking for liquidity to be taken, which we know liquidity with our indicators, right? There's liquidity in the high in here, okay? You'll have a big liquidity box in here. You'll also have, I believe, an order block in here, okay? So this is not, this is a retracement, okay? This is not a top, okay? Our significant low is here. Remember, we're zoomed in right now. So you got low, high, low, high, low, okay? There's no reason, there's no reason to be shorting this yet, okay? This is what we need to understand. So we are looking still for a long right now, right? I know it can be a bit confusing. So what happens with price? Price moves up. Let's turn this on 3x so it's not too fast. So price moves up here, right? Now, it's still, so this is a lower high. But it's still, we know that the liquidity is here. Okay? We know the liquidity is here. Now this is our low. So if we lose this low, we can look for a short. However, this now becomes the low we must hold. So what does that mean? We're looking for this to hold. So if price comes down here, we are looking for 1 or 3 things. We talked about this yesterday. So a retracement. So we have the high, the low, okay, the higher low. This retracement can do 1 or 3 things. We talked about this yesterday. We can have a impulsive move up, which would be going up from here, okay? We can have a retracement, higher low from here, or we can have a liquidity sweep, 1, 2, or 3. And we must be able to use market structure, volume, price action, and liquidity to tell us what this does, okay? So if we sweep and bounce and close within the range, we can get long. If we put in a higher low with a strong move up and continuation, we can get long. Stop loss below the low. If we have an impulsive move, we can take that long as well, okay? So these are all the things that we want to be aware of. So what happens here is we push down. Okay, we push down and we SFP. Now, why Bang, right there. Okay. So why is this why aren't we going short here, right? Why? Okay, we're closed below. We should be looking for this down here. So this is a 3-minute time frame. On probably a 5 or 10-minute time frame, this is a wick. This isn't a candle closed below this low. So it has come and grabbed what? Liquidity in the low. It is closed back within the range. We press buy, stop loss below the low. We look to take that liquidity that we didn't take from before. Okay? TP1, TP2, stop loss to entry.
May I take the mic for a little bit?
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Keo and Daga. Keo, first of all, Daga, it's another user trying to help you. I think he's right. He's been trying to get you while we're giving a class. And I noticed there's a little bit of impatient in there. If you don't like what Daga or how Daga DT is trying to help you, that's fine. You don't need to take his help, right? But there's no need to maybe exorbitate about this, right? Daga, again, buddy, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. But if you see maybe KO not liking it, don't worry, man. So I want just to,
Yeah, we all
KO,
need to get along, everybody.
Yeah,
We're here
exactly.
to learn and kick ass and take names and make money together. That's it.
Absolutely, that's it. Yeah, and KO,
That's all we do.
Just a little bit of piece of advice. Doug has been here for a long time, and he's very passionate. So he's actually telling you what I will be telling you. Like, there are no best settings, and that's not because you said anything about the best settings. He's just letting you know there's no best settings, and the best way to configure them is by analyzing your style, right? And then he also pointed at you other videos where I mentioned, hey, it doesn't matter the version, the same question that you had. It doesn't matter the version. You just need to look those videos and follow the logic of the videos. So again, if you actually see what he was telling you, he's trying to help you, buddy. But don't worry. Sorry about that, Alex. Okay, you chill, brother. We're here to try to actually get you profitable. Also, if you feel like this is not for you, and again, feel free to ask for a refund, right? Well, we can give it to you right away if that's what you want. But at the end of it all, we're trying to have fun, and best of all, make some money. That's why we're doing live analysis right now with the indicators. So if you don't want to watch the videos, come watch the classes. You'll see how Alex takes trades, right? Using those classes, you'll see me how explaining using the indicators to take those trades, right? So whatever float your boat, and yeah, there's no point to have a bad time. And I'll get to your questions right after Alex finish up. Thank you, Alex. Sorry for the interruption.
No worries. All right, so SFP continuation, right, comes up and grabs our liquidity. So now that liquidity has been taken up here, right, and we know there's liquidity up in here because if we rewind, it'll give us a liquidity zone back in here. And if you're wondering what the liquidity zone is, right, it's just in here. It'll show you where that liquidity is right here, liquidity zones on your liquidity analysis. Very useful, okay? So you're going to have liquidity in the highs here. You sweep that high. Now that this has been swept, it's got to follow through up, or it's giving us a bearish divergence, which will print on your oscillator right here because you have slow and fast, right? Slow. You have a high, slow, fast, right? Bearish divergence. Okay, and that will print on your oscillator. You can see here, bang, there's your divergence. So now you know you got a bearish divergence. You're up at the highs. You could be looking for a potential rejection. Okay, boom, we drop down. As soon as we close this below this low here, I got short again. So second trade of the day, short, stop loss halfway up the candle, looking to target down into this low right now. Took this short as well, bang. It came back, stopped me out, but I did take profit one. Okay, now we are here. So I took that short down, and then I took the VWAP slap in here. Okay, so 3 trades today. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, pretty active trading and really aggressive with my take profits. Okay, really aggressive and just trading it as is. So for me, very effective, seeing the market really well today, but it's all to do with market structure, liquidity, price action, volume, right? Where's price going? Where are we looking? Order block, liquidity zones, VWAP, right? Why am I looking at a bounce at this green box here? Well, we have order blocks. We have our money flow point of control in here. Okay. We have liquidity zones down below in here. So for me, if we're going to hold the longs, it's got to be here. We also have a massive amount of support in here. So very useful, very good trading session right now. For me, we are in a downtrend now. So we're favoring shorts, right? So we should be favoring shorts. However, if we hold here and we break momentum and put in a higher low, I'm definitely looking to get long. Okay, so these are the things that I'm aware of and how I've traded the day today. Now, Bitcoin, pretty sporadic, pretty slow and choppy. Volumes picked up a little bit. The pink box held perfectly last night again that we given you guys. Okay, bullish divergence at the low all the way up overnight. We did not break out of this downtrend here, so I can get rid of this stuff on my... we did not break this downtrend here. Okay, we are still putting in higher lows. I wouldn't be surprised if we come down and sweep all of this in here. If we fail here, which remember, liquidity zone, order block, golden pocket retracement level. Okay, so if we start losing this support level in here, all the way through, you can see that's where we're bouncing right now. Massive amount of support throughout here. Okay, you can see that all the way through. Very simple, right? If I were to draw a line here, right? And you can go back and look at this, and you can pull volume if you wanted to, and you can see this is clearly a key level for us to hold right now. Okay, and if we do fall any lower, we're looking at 107 at the lows of the range. Okay, so for now, I would like to see a bounce out of here, but right now we're rolling over. So what do? You wait, right? You wait. Unless you're short from up in here, I wouldn't be short in this thing. I would look for a pullback, a potential pullback, and then continuation down, but nothing yet. We're looking to hold this area in here, which is where my green box is. Okay, as long as we hold here, I think we're in good shape. Okay, so we're looking for bottoming structure here and a mitigation, and then we can look to possibly get long. If we fail to do so, right, we're looking for a continuation down. Right, how do we get into that? Well, I would look for a retest continuation and just look for this momentum to the downside to continue. Okay, looking to come to that liquidity down below here. So kind of in a make or break spot right now, pretty aggressive sell-off. If we look at anything like the NASDAQ, it's struggled a little bit too. All right, you had like pump and dump here on the NASDAQ, very choppy, okay? The SPY, very similar. We opened up here, very choppy as well. So in this moment in time, Bitcoin's kind of in this make or break. I'm sure OC can cover some like higher term time frame stuffs, but it's still trying to hold this breakout retest continuation trade here that we have. Okay, it's really just taking its time, which is painful at times. So make sure you guys are using good risk management, setting the trap and waiting for the price to come to you, and then you'll be able to really take advantage of that price action. What are you looking at, OC?
I was looking at Bitcoin, but let me take time to answer KO because it seems like he's having a little bit of a hard time kind of looking through the number of the indicator, the version of the indicator. Let me ease him into it. KO, this is for you, my buddy.
I don't think he's here anymore.
He's not here anymore?
He's not in the chat.
Oh, well. Well, let's then move into what I'm looking to. So... Too bad. Well then, let's take this. All right, perfect. This is what I'm looking into, and it's just Bitcoin. A possible retracement. This is what I left it out with the box right here between 111 or 112 all the way down to 109. And we did reach it, right? I was expecting us to, and let me just get a little bit of a better, there we go, better view. I was expecting to channel into that box, into that area in range. But what actually happened is that we fell below that area in range. So the ranging is there, which is what I want to see right after that movement. We're holding and we're flattening it out in here on the oscillator. We're getting to very complicated zones, at least for me. Why? Because I'm seeing flattening out of the oscillator. We're seeing something like that. What happened last time we have something like this? Well, let me show you two scenarios. First scenario, we flat out, and of course we range, but we burst. But look at that, burst to the upside, liquidate everyone, and this is 4 hours. Come on, right? Be careful in here. Where is the next the next one that happened here? We flat out again, we range, we burst to the upside. There we go. And the next time that we flat out, it was, where is it? Right here. We flat out, we range, and then we break to the downside. The only thing that I wanted to show you is that the flat out usually indicates a ranging zone and a violent breakout. It is unknown where we're going to be breaking out. Usually when we are above the dynamic reactor, we're going to be breaking out to the upside. But when we are below the dynamic reactor, we break to the downside. The most important part in here is that it usually indicates or ends up with some violent movement. So there's money to be made out there. So let's go back where we are right now. We are ranging, we're flattening out, and what are we going to be doing? Well, then I have two lines, up or down, right? But plan A for me is going to be going down, and that is because the dynamic reactor has been pushing, and we're just not being able to break through the resistance. I believe that if we create a little push through and not a violent push through the downside, we could be getting a much better opportunity to grab some liquidity somewhere around here, or even somewhere around here, and I'll show you one in a second, and then have that momentum to push through. That will also consolidate the range where we are, right? So consolidating this range for the final bounce to the downside, and then off we go. Although there is a very important zone, which is the 105. 105, 106, 107, somewhere around this area. I believe that we could be having a just a pullback there to create a higher low and then push through, right? Even if we get somewhere around 103, which is my target, we could be still creating, or we absolutely going to be creating a higher low, and off we go. This is based on the megaphone, right, that we got. And here we have another dash line right at 103, 104, 107. So that area overall, and if I start turning on my indicators, we'll see that we have a area of disparity right there. So area of ranging, big force support when we're coming back down. We also have a big loud order block and two small soft order blocks. And this is when things start getting a little bit better. How better? Well, that we can see through. And that is because we have a high order block at the top versus a soft order block. Let me ask you which one we think is going to last longer, right? So far, I think the high is going to win over the soft. So what's going to be the next one? It's going to be somewhere around, and let me just fix this a little bit higher. There we go. Somewhere around the 105. And here is where our both daily dynamic reactor and also our previous trend line coexist. So this is not a weak support, right? And depending on where we are in the oscillator, it's not that the oscillator dictates where we're going to be moving. It's that the oscillator reads the momentum. Therefore, we can predict whether we're going to be having enough, of course, momentum to keep pushing upwards, or lack of momentum to keep pushing downwards. So at this point, when we are somewhere around 105, I think we should be looking at our oscillator. So far, I'll be a little bit not worried, but cautious because I believe that we might be going at least to 106, and that's for very sorry, and that's for the 4 hour time frame. Going to the daily or the 4 days, let me go there and also to a cleaner chart. Here it is. We are also tracking another kind of megaphone in here, right? Let me get this out of the way. So we are tracking a megaphone in here. This is not new. All right, let me just prolong these lines, right? Out of one concept that we call morphology. Morphology is just in simple words, one pattern can transform into another pattern. All right, so just preventing that caught us off guard. So we're failing. We broke the previous range to the upside, right? Breakout, retest. We're failing to break back above. And I think this 4-day candle might be very decisive. So 4 days starting on when? The 8th, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So basically today is the last day from that 4-day candle. At least on my time frame or my time zone. All right. So if we close with a doji, I believe that we might be going lower here. What happened when we close dojis? Well, we reverse, right? When we close dojis, we usually reverse. It's not like it works like that. You usually want to see a candlestick pattern, like for example, big candle, doji, big candle, reversal, right? But so far indecision right now in this area might be leading me to believe that we could be having, we're not ready. That sentiment that we're not ready to hit all-time highs. Although, let me show you something here if I haven't closed it. Yes, here it is, Bitcoin Magazine Pro. Lots of big money accumulation of BTC right now. We're just seeing the amount of the wallets holding at least 100 Bitcoin hit a new all-time high. That means there's a new all-time highs on wallets that have 100 Bitcoin, or at least 100 Bitcoin. What does that mean? That people, institutions, or whatever is out there buying Bitcoin that has enough power to buy 100 Bitcoin, they're accumulating on wallets, which is not the same on exchanges, all right? So, and this is very, very extremely bullish, all right? This is extremely bullish, but here is the caveat, and I don't want to be the bear. I just want to let you know beforehand, all right? If we, yeah, I know. If we see that rotation of capital between wallets being sent to exchanges, run out as fast as you can, all right? I'm not telling you sell your Bitcoin, but at least lower your leverage, prepare for a volatility period, or prepare for a head switch, all right? So, yeah, what I'm saying here is that so far we are on a flat positive bullish continuation. That's what it seems. But that also same flat positive bullish continuation might take a retracement to create a higher low in here for then take up the next high somewhere around 116, 117, depending on how many days it takes us to get there. All right. So far for me, we're having a retracement, a bullish retracement, right? What does that mean? Look at that. We are on the red cloud. I think we're going to go to the zero line, maybe a little bit of a fake out and then burst back up, which means for me, higher low, right? And then push through. So that's what I'm saying. This is the 4-day chart. So if we go back to the, 4 hours and we zoom out a little bit, you'll see that actually represent the same lows that we were looking with the high or the loud order block that we have on our previous analysis, all right? I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, that's fine. Remember that we have this other trend line right here, this one right there, all right? And if we have that trend line, my entry is going to be breakout on the median, retest, maybe 1 or 2 candle retest, or even flag out, and then off we go to the upside, all right? So I don't want to, like Alex mentioned, you want to get the bounce, right? You don't want to get into the sausage party. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do, right? Buy the low, sell the high, right? And that's easy peasy, lemon squeezy for me. That's on Bitcoin. Going to other altcoins, I think Ethereum might be worth taking a look at it because, again, I know I have two scenarios. Plan A will be rejecting out of that area, and that's expecting from Bitcoin to retrace. All right, and this is the 4 hour. So if we are expecting a retracement, well then, where are our areas of entry? Somewhere around 2,422, and that is if I start turning on my VPVR, look at that disparity bar, right? So remember those big disparity bars because, again, just in case you are new, if you turn your VPVR inside your Market Dynamics Pro, to your right, you have your traditional VPVR, VRVP, or however you want to say it, your volume profile. And then to your left, and this is where the magic happens for me, at least for me, this shows you how much of the right volume is leading to one side or it's fighting to each other, right? So look at that. We have low volume, but big disparity. So basically, there's a lot of people both buying and selling, despite there's not that much volume. But look at that. What we're looking into here is usually low volume, low disparity, because that means fewer entities with which move fewer volume, all aiming at the same sides. What does that smell like? That smells like smart money entries, right? So institutions that do have a lot of volume, right, but not big enough a volume that as retail. All right, just so you know. All right, so they can manipulate with low volume. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, low volume, everything pointing in the same zone, and then we see those rejections. Perfect. We have located an area of smart money reaction. What's up next? We could be thinking that the next time that the price gets there, it's going to react similarly. All right. So look at this other peak to the upside, right? Right here, big push. What happened on that peak? Both. It was in the middle between a lot of disparity and small disparity, right? Volume, this indicates me that this is not smart money, but retail pushing it. So can we get another retail push? If we go downwards, I think this is a great area to look for that retail push. And if we break to the upside, because remember, I always think, all right, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm just biased here, right? So I'll do a counter analysis. What if I'm wrong? Well, then let it break. If it break, where is my next resistance? At a resistance. Perfect. Let's hit that resistance. Let's come back down, and coming back down where? Look at that. I have a high. I have a lower high, right? I have another one. So I can create a trend line in here. Not only that, look at this low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. That creates a trend line in here, right? This creates a trend line. And that trend line gives me a cross. That cross, it's a fantastic area for support, right? Don't want to use those crosses or manual trading? That's fine. Use your support and resistances, right? Use your order blocks, use your predictive ranges, right? And as you can see right here, maybe I'm falling a little bit short of my target. There we go. That could be it. And then I use my indicators, my traditional trading skills, and I fine tune my possible area of reentry. So let's add a possible reentry right here. If we have the breakout retest of. All right, after Ethereum, I got XRP. Let me do XRP so it's not painful for you. Oh, it's not that painful for you. and, and well, then, I mean, come on, we have a news, right? We have a, what is it? Where's the news? Come on, there we go. Donald Trump doing XRP. That needs to be worth something, right? So, all right, XRP. So far, our range in here has been playing out fantastically, right? We buy low, we sell high, we buy low, we sell high. We are not able to buy low, but going back to sell high, at this point, let's hold our horses. I think we're at the end of the range. Also, my counter analysis, and this is something that I want to show you. Let me just clear this up, all right? Oh, I didn't want to clear it that much. I just want to clear this once here. Let me clear this up, all right? This, we already have traded it. with great success. Perfect. Nothing else to do there. And take me a little while. There we go. I was talking about today in the morning a possible flat top, right? Usually flat tops tend to break to the upside. Why is it giving me flat top vibes? Look at here. Look at here. Look at here and look at here. This is almost a flat top, right? I mean, this is a flat top. But where is our higher lows starting with? It's starting right here. Not a flat top. Right here, not a flat top, not a flat top, not a flat top. So we are making a wedge to the upside, right? A rising wedge. Usually rising wedges tend to break down. So we already are at tops. What we do at tops with a high, right? What am I expecting? A lower high in here or a break to the zero line to then short the thing. But what if I'm wrong, right? Again, countermeasure. What if I'm wrong? My next entry is going to be breaking through, and that's why I have an alert right here at 236, right? To let me know, hey, we're breaking previous highs. And look at that. Our area to break, to actually break structure, is previous meaningful highs. And let me bring this up, right? And if we break these previous meaningful highs, we're not that far away from doing that, right? If we do so, maybe previous resistance becomes new support, right? And then if I'm hitting the zero line and bouncing up, off I go with a possible target. And this is where things get interesting. Let's go to daily. And on daily, we're in a much bigger range, right? And possible targets are right here at 246 or 240, yeah, 246 and 258, which means because of the low cap that we could be having an 8% or a 16% no leverage. At 10x, we'll be having something like 70% movements or 165% movement at a 10x. All right. I'm not telling you to buy it right there. I'm telling you to wait for the call, to break out retest. Your retest is your entry with your confirmation. Or your rejection, go for the short, all right? Not financial advice, but a short could be also nice. Look at that, we're having a bearish divergence in here, right? We're getting close to topping zones, but we still have a little more fuel. So what do? Well, wait. Right now, it's just waiting. We're almost there. We're almost there. And I think that between tomorrow and the next day, we might be having a result on XRP. So be quick also to take your decision and use your stop loss. We don't want to get trapped in this trade, especially not in XRP. But yeah, other than that, that's what I'm seeing in the markets. Are you seeing something interesting?
Right now it's Bitcoin's got to go, right? Otherwise nothing's gonna go, kind of deal. So someone asked for us to chart ADA. We can look at ADA for sure. We'll take a look over here at Cardanzo. I'm considering a long right now on Bitcoin. I'd like to see this break and continue. No trade as of yet. Okay, still waiting for really confirmation of this momentum to break and looking for that continuation, possibly come back up to this area in here. We'll see if we do get it. Let's go over here. It's very slow, everybody, so it's not easy to wait through all of this. Going into here, ADA. All right, ADA. Let's look at the 4-hour here. Yeah, so we have broken down trending momentum here. We have come into a key buy level, this 50-cent area. It's kind of weird that, we were looking at ADA too in my community, and we got triple bottom here, right? So triple bottom coming for the lows. We still haven't come for this low here, which is kind of surprising in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like this, okay? Wouldn't be surprised at all. Okay, so that's something that you should be prepared for. 50 cents psychological level. Okay, ADA looks like trash right now, let's be honest, right? So when we go in here, we can see that we are coming up and we are banging our heads on this trend line here. Okay, so what I would like to see is I'd like to see some, some liquidity sweep either below here or we're going to get going, right? So if we're going to get going, generally, yeah, we need to, yeah. So we need to really change structure here. So we need to get above this high here, order block in here. That's your resistance. So you're going to be looking for a sweep of this high in here and a continuation out. But for now, just flagging out. So this is a downtrend, very simply downtrend. So you're looking for the rollover, right? I'd be looking for this thing to do whatever and then zip down, bounce and go. Okay, that's how I would look to trade this. I wouldn't get too far ahead of myself with this, especially that Bitcoin's kind of bleeding out right now. Okay, when we you can see the liquidity in the lows as well. When you get into a shorter term time frame here and we look at our oscillator as well, we can see that we're just consolidating, right? So this is coiling up, right? And it's going to make a decision. You can see that as well on our oscillator. So if this, then that, my interest would be for ADA to roll over, most likely coming for the low down in here at 50 cents. However, if you hold the higher low in here, you could be looking to come just back down into 55, I would say. This area in here, I'd be looking for a potential for it to hold, okay? Just sweep that low, right? If you come in here and you hold, you would look for that continuation out. Yes, downtrending momentum here. So it would be like a breakout retest, but I would expect a sweep at least of this first. If not, we're looking to come for these lows here. So it's interesting we haven't taken that one low down at 50 cents, so I wouldn't be surprised if ADA does one more boom and then we go, just from looking at it here. If you start getting above this high here, if you put it in a higher high, then you're looking for a retest of this area in here. So you get above this high here, market structure shift, you look for a higher low continuation, and that's how I would look to trade ADA. If we get a breakout, okay? If this, then that kind of deal. Okay, so it's going to require Bitcoin to go. There goes my camera. And that's what I'd be looking for on ADA. Is there any other questions in here? 1 second, let me fix my camera. Sometimes it just turns off, man. No problem. Hybrid system. Yeah. I mean, it's just volume. All it is volume. Fartcoin came down to our buy level yesterday. Another setup we had yesterday. It has since rolled over again. So possible opportunity. Had a nice dump yesterday, 8% dump. Looking to reclaim this level here at 10. Yeah, hold this 105 level. This could be a possible opportunity for a long right now. Something that I'm interested in. I'm not in it yet. Like I said, just like we're waiting for the Bitcoin to go, right? And we're waiting for signs of strength, right? So if this thing can come back and reclaim this 105 and go, that would be ideal. But it had a nice dump yesterday, so I would look for it to bounce back a little bit today, coming back, sweeping some liquidity in this push up and looking for it to get off to the races there. So something you might want to take a look at is Fartcoin. We also had Solana. Yeah, Solana coming back down. Yeah, holding higher lows. That's fine. SUI trade. Okay, we are all in the SUI trade as well, looking for this thing to continue onwards and upwards. Okay, so looking for that push, right? Bitcoin's got to lead the way, though, guys. I mean, nothing really happens until Bitcoin decides to move. Nasdaq's holding up quite nicely right now, trying to hold on to these massive push that it's had. The SPY recovering here, opened up pretty bearishly, and now it's just consolidated sideways. So overall, not bad. Russell continuing to climb, which is risk on, looking good. Total 3. Okay, the total 3 breakout, retest, continuation trade. We're still waiting for it to get above this high here, okay? We got the breakout, retest. We got the big trend line coming down here. So breakout, retest, continuation, looking to get up and above here. Hasn't done so yet, okay? We're just kind of coiling. Just like everything else, we have this coiling happening. So I think, either today or tomorrow, possibly Friday, we're going to have some sort of move coming in, which I think will be interesting to see. It's, if they're going to send this thing to Valhalla, it's probably while we sleep, and it's probably all of a sudden, right? So don't FOMO, but be prepared. It is the summer lull, so typically price action will bore you until it doesn't, right? And that's why we stay proactive. That's why we set alerts. That's why we want to be prepared, right? We have these setups, these ideas, but it's useless if we don't have like alerts saying, hey, man, we're looking here. Hey, man, we're looking here. Can we get out of here, right? So always kind of prepared, marking out our charts. You can see everything here. We have a bounce and a consolidation, right? Everything. You flip through here, bounce, consolidation, right? You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see all this bounce and consolidation, right? Any token you look at, bounce, consolidation, okay? It's all there. Hype coming down to a buy level as well, okay? So nice little retracement for hype. We'll see if it does hold here as well. Possible continuation. We took the hype trade back on Friday, so looking for it to hold here. Could roll over alongside with Bitcoin, right? Remember, if you're trading the altcoins, you must use Bitcoin as your sort of guide, right? Because dominance is so high right now. We're up at 65. So any sort of move is going to be led by dominance. Did we look at virtual? Yeah, virtual is coming down to a key level here, 141. Okay. Virtual had a very aggressive pump now. Now it looks pretty gross, right? So if we do not hold 141, we're looking to rotate down to 130. Okay. Kind of looking down in here. Okay, we'll see if we get there. But yeah, pretty aggressive sell-off here. So like I said, there's nothing better than a good trend line. So if we come down in here and we break that trend line, then we can have a talk with virtual and see, hey, are we going to reverse here, or are we going to just keep bleeding out, right? So patience will prevail on anything like that, okay? That's what I'm looking at.
Nice. I'm looking at a SUI possible trade on the 4 hours, but still haven't had an entry. Breakout retest, still waiting. Same thing, same opinion as you got. Like we're just flattening out. We're making that little wedge to the upside. Maybe we need to wait a little bit for Bitcoin to pull down possible entries, and then off we go for the final push. But yeah. Lucky. What's up, brother? Polaris, but this is my first session. I just joined and thoroughly enjoy the explanation on the technical charts. My question: do you only focus on crypto? No, but you need to let us know what would you like us to do. We have a big crypto community, and we are crypto traders mainly, but we focus on anything that can be chart. So if you have any requests, we'll be more than happy to go for it. Yeah. And by the way, I like gold, platinum, I like Nvidia, Tesla, and that's my basic 4. Yeah, you can request assets. Absolutely. Also, by the way, if you have any questions about using your indicators that you cannot find on the docs or on other previous video recordings, putting into a sticky note, right? So when the next class happens, you just copy and paste your questions, and that way it will be much faster for you to get your questions ready, and we'll be more than happy to go over those and explain them with live examples, and show you in the class live results. So I think that will be it also for me. I'm standing by for my alerts to start hitting. I have an alert on CU, but it is a standby. An alert of HNT, which is also standby. an alert on Jupiter, which is also standby. So I'm standing by. I'm standing by, waiting for something to happen. And we should be looking into possible areas of entry. Right now, I don't think risking it will be making it good unless we have confirmation, right? Be aware that the confirmation can happen within 1 or 2 days, so be prepared. Other than that, I think we're reaching the end of the class. Alex, want to say the goodbyes before we end up the show?
We're dumping. Be patient. Wait. Looking to come to the lows of the range. That's basically it right now. If we do not hold where we are right now, we're looking to come to the lows of the range, which means we're going to drop probably another 0.5%, which means probably 3% for your altcoins. So be patient. Possibly look for a pullback for the short, but right now we're holding. We're in a bounce level. So can we bounce? We'll see. Trade safe. We'll see you guys tomorrow and be safe. That's it, man. Slow,
Absolutely.
patience. That's it. Don't force it.
Absolutely. By the way, guys, just so you remember, I'm looking at 107,300 for my first possible zone, and then for a better entry zone, 105,667. Just so you guys are aware. So I'm expecting a little bit of a further dump. Be patient and be prepared. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.